Hi, everyone. Hey, thanks for coming. We've all been working very hard towards this day, and I'm very excited to kick us off. So my name's Elwood-Leach, and today I'm going to be talking about products, technology, and our relationship with possessions. So I'm going to start with the first product I designed when I was 8 years old. It might look like something Lego would sell, but they didn't. This was my own design. I built a Lego model, photographed it, and packaged it in a box I designed in Microsoft Paint. It was complete with instructions and price tag. I loved Lego, but I wanted more than pre-packaged pirates and astronauts. I wanted this product to be personal, and I wanted to reflect my life. So I designed a product reflecting me working on a car, something me and my dad used to do together. And this isn't just something I do. As humans, we reflect ourselves through our material culture all the time. We amass a collection of records to express our taste in music. Photos capture our experiences and memories. And products, such as cars, express who we are and enable us to explore who we want to be. Our possessions are important to us as humans. As social psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi observes, we are the maker and user of objects, and we are to a large extent a reflection of the things with which we interact. But our interaction with possessions is changing, and I've been exploring this changing relationship with my thesis, Invisible Possessions. So what are invisible possessions? We went from records to digital MP3s to today, with the latest Apple Watch, we can stream 40 million songs to our wrist. Our possessions are becoming infinite. We went from photo albums that we collected and curated to digital archives that we still curated to today, services such as Facebook Memories use artificial intelligence to curate our content automatically. Our possessions are becoming fluid. Cars are leaving us too, with services such as car share and the near prospect of autonomous vehicles that no one owns. Our possessions are becoming shared. So these are what I came to see as our invisible possessions. And over the year, I've had the opportunity to speak to the designers and engineers behind these products, as well as some others thinking about the consequences of these systems. These discussions led me to believe that we've reached a tipping point in our user experience. These new services dictate how we own, access, and use our possessions, to the extent that we're losing our ability to curate and control the stories our possessions tell. For me, Rob Walker summarized it best. There's no intentionality in the possessions we own anymore. And this is a problem. As I was reading up on material culture, it became apparent that possessions are important to us, our sense of self, and our culture. And one significant insight for me was that we punish people by stripping them of their possessions, stripping them of their individuality. So this doesn't look too different from the possessionless dystopian futures that we make TV shows about, which could become a reality if we don't consider the behaviors we are creating. So today, there's a divide between humans and technology. We're in awe of what technology can achieve, and we often forget how we fit into the systems that we're designing around ourselves. But what sits at this intersection is our possessions. And my thesis explores how we as humans interface with technology through the lens of our possessions. And I've been exploring how to reclaim a personal relationship with our possessions in this augmented age. So with my initial experiments, I aimed to foster a relationship with technology through products. One of my favorite experiments was a smart speaker I built. I built the speaker from my 1970s, that's me, from my 1970s Panasonic shelf speaker and a broken iPhone. In comparison to this otherwise cold, sterile technology, my speaker felt immediately warm-blooded, and my relationship with the technology changed completely. Another experiment I made were fake CDs that linked directly to their digital counterparts on Spotify. And with these, I interacted with my music through physical objects again. These experiments are great, however they were retro, and they referenced the past. And this aligned with what I was reading in David Sacks's Revenge of the Analog. Sacks identifies that we're rejecting this relentless flow of information. We crave familiar analog experiences. Vinyl sales, for one, are on the rise for the first time since their decline. But why go back to interactions and objects of the past? Can we instead take these analog ideologies into the future? With this in mind, Shelve Your Things is a product I envisioned that utilizes the possessions we already own as new products of mass customization. It works like this. You input the dimensions of your possessions online before rearranging them on a screen. And this is an algorithm I designed that adds sufficient padding around each object and attempts to fill in empty space in accordance with the golden ratio. The design is then CNC manufactured at an IKEA 2.0 and assembled at home. So this is my shelf. I built it around my possessions. And this product engages us in the design process, forcing us to consider what objects are important to us before we silhouette them into the furniture of our homes, developing a relationship with both the shelf and our possessions. Building forward on this concept, the displayer is a device I envisioned that augments our experience with the objects themselves by connecting our analog objects to the digital landscape. It works like this. A camera in the device identified the object through computer vision, and any media associated with that object was sourced and streamed into my connected home. My AC/DC t-shirt is now a set list. My book is now an audiobook. My postcards are now digital photo albums. If I place a new object on the device, such as the teddy bear my grandma gave me, I get a notification on my phone suggesting several invisible possessions I could choose to associate with this object. As Jack White of the White Stripes observed in an interview, in an age of invisible media, we need physical products. He referenced the moment when you drop a needle on a record, identifying that this physical interaction is reverential to taking part in the experience that a product brings us. With my next exploration, I wanted to look beyond objects. Flaneur is a mobile app that builds a connection between invisible media and the physical spaces that give this media tangible context. I was inspired by the flaneur of the 17th century, someone who would wander for the pure enjoyment of the modern city. So this is our modern day flaneur. She consumes invisible media, music, movies, news. And she's walking through the city when she gets a notification from flaneur. It informs her that the store in front of her was the site of the Beastie Boys album cover. It links her to Spotify, and now she can consume this invisible media in the tangible space that gives it real context in her life. Okay, enough Beastie Boys. As she walks through the city, her map expands, revealing the invisible media she has previously consumed. The filming location from her favorite show on Amazon Prime, a cinema set for demolition next week that she read about in the New York Times, Banksy's latest Instagram post at the Bowery mural. Flaneur enables us to explore our city through the invisible media that populate it by connecting with our apps and subscriptions. You can also discover new content through the app's Explore feature, a compass that points you in the direction of the nearest invisible media. In a discussion with Tad Toulis, Sonos VP of Design, we discussed how the digitization of media has created a world of absolute convenience, inevitably creating a world of impermanent and ephemeral experiences. With Flaneur, I wanted to look beyond pure convenience, to create an experience with these invisible possessions that is less ephemeral, an experience that is real, tangible, and human. So while Flaneur explored the city as a shared environment, we are also starting to share the objects in our environment, such as New York's city bike, and the sharing economy is a new model of ownership that has been enabled by technology. The trouble is, we don't care for these objects the same way we do our own. There's no relationship designed into these experiences. The wonderful life of an object is an experience I designed to highlight our shared relationship with products, reframing these objects of a shared economy as objects of a shared mythology. So I attached disposable cameras to a variety of shared objects in New York City. And humans acted as surrogates, taking pictures to tell a story in the day of the life of these objects. Just like we sometimes name our own possessions, I named each shared possession and set them up with their own social media page. So this is Lena Link. She is a Link NYC station in the Lower East Side, enjoying a snow day with a few friends. Sally the Seat in Seward Park had a great day out with the kids. And Sam the City Bike had a rather eventful journey from Central Park to the Lower East Side before losing his camera to the NYPD. If he forced me to collect it. So in total, I personified 8 shared objects. And this experiment really gave these objects a point of view, alluding to a future where these products may be able to talk back, respond to us individually, and personalize our experience of a shared economy. This pointed towards an augmented future that Kevin Kelly predicts, where intelligence flows into objects as easily as electricity. With my final experiment, firsthand, I wanted to return to the Lego set I made 15 years ago and explore our relationship with products of mass manufacture. This time, I explored the wristwatch as my product of choice, with the goal of creating a personal relationship through a sense of appropriation. What caught my attention was the spirograph pattern, a pattern that is very easy to create a unique variation, but then very difficult to replicate the math that generated that pattern. For this reason, similar patterns are used to prevent forgeries, for example in currency. So this is a computationally generated spirograph, which I applied to a fixed model of a watch to generate a unique aesthetic for the face. The trick here is it's not just one aesthetic, but many variations on the pattern, so no two products are the same. This is the pattern I chose for myself and the watch I made. So I love the spirograph metaphor as a product of mass manufacture, but a variation that cannot be replicated. And I manufactured this watch through digital manufacture processes to enable the one-off aesthetic. I imagine this product being packaged with a spirograph kit that enables the user to physically engage with the process through which this product was created. But also in a sense, this becomes a mechanical fingerprint, a mark or crest that only you have access to. And this opens fascinating opportunities to appropriate new objects. For example, we could apply this mark to our smart speakers that individualize when we talk to them. Or possibly even objects of the shared economy that greet us with our mark. Firsthand was an exploration into how we can reclaim our personal relationship with not just one product, but have a relationship that carries over to an ecosystem of products. Just like my Lego set had done, this watch enabled me to reflect myself in a product. And through developing technologies of mass customization, these opportunities are increasingly available to everyone. I went into this thesis because I love things, and I was concerned I was losing touch with the things in my life. And what I learned over the year is that possessions are important to us, and as we move into a world of invisible possessions, it's important to remember that we're physical beings in a physical world. If we want to move into an age where we're augmented by technology and not consumed by it, the products in our lives have a crucial role to play. We need to see ourselves reflected in our material culture with visible possessions that are warm-blooded and personal. I'd like to thank all the people who have imparted their wisdom to me over the past 2 years. My teachers, classmates, interviewees, friends, family, everyone who's come today, and especially, everyone who's come today. Thank you.
I'm so excited that this is the first presentation of the day.
Thank you.
And I love the fact that you have this beautiful grace note of including a spirograph in the watch packaging. I just think that that's fantastic. So you had used a word early in the presentation, experiment, that these experiments, and that's something that's really resonant with me and that I wish I actually had mentioned in my opening remarks. Can you tell us how you use that word and how you see you framing design activity as experiments?
When I went into the thesis, I never went in to solve a problem. I wanted to explore this space and this my personal relationship with where it seemed products were going. And all the products I produced, I wanted to interact with them and let them bounce off and develop from each other. So I made CDs and I used them, which led on to what if these products could talk back? And everything came together and it felt like they were all experiments that helped me push that design forward.
I think everybody wants the displayer. I'm of two minds about the name. Like, I think it needs a better name, and then I'm like, no, it's the displayer.
It plays things and it displays things.
There you go. Right. Bought and sold.
I'm open to recommendations.
Did you have anything that you wanted to put on the displayer that we didn't see, or any, dangerous ideas?
I got a soft toy in Canada, and I really wanted to play my Party in Canada playlist.
Canadian soft toys, high quality.
I wanted an vending machine. It was the first time I'd won anything, so.
Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask you about that I don't think you've told me enough stories about is the Wonderful Life of Object, the disposable cameras. So what really happened on the streets?
Well, doing my research, I thought it was going to be a bit of a bloodbath out there, and I thought I made 8 cameras because I thought I'd get about 1 back. So I put 8 cameras out in different objects, and I used a really heavy grade of wire because I didn't want anyone to take them. But cameras fell off and people tied them back, and I lost cameras, but they turned up at the police station, and that was scary.
What police think about this experiment? Because I know they love public experiments.
They don't get it at all.
Really? Yeah, we've got a couple here today.
But it really gave me sort of a faith in this new way of owning objects. And there's hope.
I love that people put them back. You're wearing the watch?
I am.
Can you show it off? I would say let's pass this watch around, but I don't think you're ever going to see that watch again if we do.
You asked me at the very first class, you asked everyone what one product they wanted to make, and I said a watch.
Serious?
Yeah. So
you graduate.
I'm glad I got the opportunity to make this.
Dude, this is it. The first presentation. I'll even shake your hand. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Luke.